Hello, everyone. And by everyone, I mean the few people that really, really do watch this. I want to welcome you to a new concept of mine, Tism Talks, where I basically put together a 5 minute PowerPoint presentation. And when I mean 5 minutes, I mean it took me 5 minutes to make this. This honestly could go on forever because obviously, hello, Tism. So yes, this is Tism Talks, where I think about a topic that either pissed me off or, makes other people pissed off, or basically just really invokes a lot of emotions, mostly in a negative context. And I just kind of do my little 2 minute, or not 2 minute, my thrown together consensus as to why that is. you know, and although this is episode one or, version one or whatever you want to call it, Tism Talks episode one. Now, this is something that is, very close to me. Very, very, very hits home, as you will say, or as one might say. Hits close to home, I think is the saying. Video games. Or actually, not video games. Let me kind of back up. I may, let me back up a little bit. Let me just And right, I hope this is still sharing. Yeah, it is. Tism Talks. This is, welcome to Tism. Fuck! I honestly need to start from the beginning, but screw it. This is a practice, or we'll upload it. Who gives a fuck? Welcome to Tism Talks, presented by your host, me. Today's episode, I want to talk about why the fuck does everything suck? Mostly something that hits close to home, video games. All right. Look, I've been playing video games a lot longer than I should have, but the thing is that it has given me intricate experience. Video games was or is a very unique social phenomenon. All right. Video games was the first social media. When online gaming was available, right? You could be whoever the fuck you wanted to be behind the screen. All right? Before that, we had to scam people as Nigerian princes through emails. Like, AOL, like the fucking dial up ringtone and whatever. Like, the one that grandpa and grandma always fall for. And we had to tell them that no one's going to give you a 10x return on your $1,000 investment to a Nigerian prince. Whew. Sorry, I'm a little bit winded. I'm not used to talking this much. So, video games, why do they suck? Or why does it suck now? See, Gen Z, I feel like, went through what I would call a golden era. And what I mean by golden era, I mean we were the era when people put in the most effort. You think about the movies, you think about the video games, the quality of the food, life overall. During even like the Great Depression or the financial recession, right? Like things still didn't look bleak. I remember, 2010, 2012, we moved to a new house. I'd finally gotten an Xbox. I booted up Call of Duty, and all of a sudden, I had access to anyone and everyone in the whole world or whoever was on the Call of Duty server at the time. But it felt like the whole world. And I made friends. I made friends of all ages and sexes. We had access to anyone and everyone in the world. And it was really, really interesting, right? You played a game. Well, it doesn't have to be shooter. I just do shooter because that's the one that I played with. You did RPG online, campaign, co-op. You did whatever genre of video games you wanted online, and you had access to anyone and everyone in the whole world, or whoever was on the server at the time. And how did you meet? You said something stupid in the party chat or game chat, right? Either someone made fun of your high pitched squeaky voice because your balls didn't drop, and they took you in. They saw the kid had potential. They were like, "Yeah, kid, just keep on grinding, keep on pushing, get those kill streaks." And then you were like, "Yeah, I'm part of a group. I'm part of a gang." Right? And then bam, all gone. No one talks anymore. No one plays video games anymore. Or no one chats. You don't meet people. I have a friend list of 1,000 people from my Xbox 360 days, in which only 7 or 8 of them ever show up online. Right? And even if they do, they're only playing like story mode of some video game that I don't have access to or I honestly could care less for. But it's like, what happened? We used to meet up every single day after school or after work and and grind and the weekends would be something to look forward to. You order pizza, you bring some Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever you wanted, right? You booted up the game, you played till like 12, or 12:30 if you really wanted to push the buttons for your parents, and you did that Saturday night and you did that all day Sunday before bedtime because of school. You look forward to it. But what happened? Why did it suck? Why does everything suck? Why do video games suck? And the reason why is that we can't be expressive anymore. We can't be how we want to be, right? It used to be that you could go outside, right? And if you were a villain or a hero, you could do it. I know what I mean? It's like, if you were rude, if you were inconsiderate, if you were an asshole, or if you were racist or whatever, homophobic or whatever, you could be it and no one would bat an eye or people would give you a nasty side eye and walk their merrily way. But now, everybody wants to be world star famous. All right? Everybody wants their views and likes to go up on social media. And instead of posting stuff on their vacation, right? Because no one can afford vacation. Thank you, economy. What do? They just post stuff of other people doing batshit crazy things, or what we consider now as batshit, but 10, 20 years ago, it would have been like, any average behavior of a New Yorker ever, or a person from LA ever. But now it's like, hey, look at this guy. He's doing something weird. Let me record him. And that guy will be hated by all of public kind for, you know, 2 whole days. And then we would be like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be recorded. I don't want to be, made a meme on the internet. Now, that's kind of like the dream now is to be a meme. Like, look at Anthony Starr. The dude posts more than I do. I think Anthony Starr is probably the only person in the world that's more chronically online than me. Have you seen this dude's repost? Dude's like everywhere. Like this dude's like not only reposting stuff of him as Homelander, but memes of Homelander talking about other stuff. He posted like 7 or 8, Obsession memes, and I will talk about Obsession because I just recently watched it 5 days ago. It's still on my head. Indy, if you're seeing this, I love you. And not the obsession type of way. No, 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 no. It's a genuine love. It's a Romeo and Juliet type of love. If I got to Mercutio somebody, I will. Um, like the dude's more chronically online than me. I swear to God, his screen time is something to be like cautious of, or even take as a challenge. Who's more chronically online, you or Tony Starr? Wow, I almost butchered that. Tony Starr, Anthony Starr, Anthony Stark, Tony Stark. Is Anthony Starr the new Tony Stark? Well, whatever. Where was I? Why does everything suck? Why do video games suck? No. Dude, I had a really good fucking train of thoughts going on. That's the only time I really enjoy a train is when it's just with my own thoughts. Or, no, not that type. Um, fuck. So, wherever. Let's go back, right? Chronically online. Yeah, Anthony Starr is more chronically online than me. Um, so now that everyone is apparently becoming, no one wants to be embarrassed online. No one wants to be the social outcast. Everyone has become very reserved, right? Oh, there's people with cameras. I don't want to become a meme. I don't want to be trolled. I don't want to be doxxed. So I'm just going to be reserved. I'm not going to have any facial expressions. I'm going to keep to myself. I'm going to basically become a robot. And because you're forced to be outside like like a regular human being, right? You go to work, you go to grocery, you get groceries, or you go to work out, or you go to play tennis, or you run, or whatever, because you're outside of the comfort of your own domain, your house, for more than 8 hours a day. That becomes your personality, and you bring that personality with you to your home, and you're the same reserved person when you play video games. No one's saying stupid stuff anymore. No one is saying crazy, batshit crazy things anymore. No one is pointing out the stereotypes. No one is calling anyone else a cheater. Everyone has just put their mics on mute. Why? Because they don't feel safe being who they are anymore. Even in a space where there's no way to ever really learn about you unless if you're some creepy weirdo or stalker or whatever. I think 2020 was, as shitty COVID was, it brought the last, I would say, the pinnacle of proper enjoyment in video games. Now you only play video games with people that you've seen in person, and you know you've got some dirt on them, so that's why you kind of let loose because they also might have dirt on you, and that's it. No strangers, no redneck from West Virginia, no spoiled brat from Los Angeles, no, you know, construction worker who's working on an oil rig somewhere halfway across the world. We've become victims or prisoners of our own personality. It sucks. It really does. I hope it changes. Even when I play Battlefield, right? That's where usually I meet the most people, is shooters, because you got to communicate, right? Hey, he's pushing left. He's coming right. He's coming from the right. That was my left. He's pushing left. He's coming from the right. He's one shot. I need cover fire. Like these are things that you would say. You would communicate or learn to effectively communicate. But now no one wants to say shit. Also, not to mention the whole fucking AI robot that they've got in Call of Duty that monitors your voice chat and bans you or voice bans you. Like, do you know how frustrating it is when you have perfect hit markers and some fucking piece of shit just hip shoots you with a shotgun that has dragon breath and isn't really even that good, but just got one lucky shot, like hit takes you down? That pisses you off. What do you think you're gonna say? Huh? Are you gonna say, "Ooh, I hope you have a really good day, you son of a really nice person"? Or are you gonna fucking cuss him out and insult his bloodline, his ethnicity, his people, everything about him that exists as a human being, and all of his vulnerabilities, right? You're gonna make some allegation that he's a pedophile or he's, or whatever. No, you can't. Why? Because then you get a 30-day voice ban. But no, that fucking hacker who luckily shot me and has no real good assists or anything good, has an infinite fucking KD, he is the one that gets to play the game. But I don't. Fuck Call of Duty. That last one was ass, especially the campaign. And I didn't even play it. I just saw a couple of clips on Instagram where the story mode looked super stupid. And yeah, huh. That's why video games suck. It's not enjoyable because you can't be mean anymore. You can't call people names. Otherwise, you get a 30-day voice ban from Call of Duty's little rat AI that they got in there, that snitch son of a bitch. And not to mention, that's almost in every single game now. You can't fucking collaborate, talk to people, unless if, if you guys know of some other way. Ugh, what's the world come to, man? I hope it fixes itself. I hope we can be the hateful, nasty people that we're meant to be online. All right? And I hope that, video games become enjoyable again. Because at the end of the day, why does everything suck? Why do video games suck? I just answered the whole fucking question, or at least gave you my fucking opinion on it, and I'm still trying to sound like I'm fucking Aristotle smoking his cigar and being like, oh yes, I must be stoic when I ask these things, or look super tense, as if I'm Batman looking off into the distance, protecting my. That is so weird. I need to stop moving it like that. Well, that was Tism Talk 1. Hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, fuck off. If you did, come back for 2. Let's see what we'll talk about tomorrow. Or in 2 hours from now when I get another itch in my fucking brain. How was that? Huh? Good? Okay? Eh? Like you said, throw a PowerPoint presentation on there, so that's what I did. We'll cut out this last little bit. Or leave it in. Who cares? It's not like anyone's watching. Tism Talks. I think I might have $1 billion idea if this is my unicorn now.